why do these people always end up doing this? Like, you could have just avoided politics. No, we're just gonna walk out the door and step on our dicks every time we move. So click the links for our Odysee, Bit Chute, join the Discord and Telegram, which I just set up. I'm trying to figure out how it works. It seems like Discord, but with even fewer rules. So, I mean, people on Telegram are like, let's plot World War III. Or Sports Channel on Coffee, subscribes to the various other links. So, why do they do this? Internet and YouTube, they move very, very quickly. So what was, like 2014 YouTube energy, that was, it's like dog years or something. That was a long time ago. This kind of ranting about feminism, all you had to do was just take a look at what it used to be. It's like, oh, you had a bunch of hot chicks running around eating hot dogs. Yeah, you probably want to stick with that energy. Like, there's two schools of pushback that you're going to get. You're going to get pushback from SJWs, which isn't actually that important, because they're usually not the ones who are supporting the product. So if you got a bunch of hot chicks and that triggers the SJWs, who cares, really? And if they're not really supporting the product, you're talking like, okay, well, this is like 7% of the audience. Our base audience are these dudes who are into hot chicks running around dressed up like Chun-Li, or in bikinis, or in short skirts, or just eye candy. That's like 90% of our audience. So we want to focus on that. And instead, you get what you got here last week, which is the way he wants. You get this horrific scene that I feel like I could smell it through the screen. I wouldn't want to be around any... And yeah, she dyed her hair. Of course she dyed her hair. I wouldn't want to be around any of these people. They don't look like they're having fun. None of them look like they're having fun. Two dudes look like, oh, we really don't want to be here for this. Why did we hire this chick? That's a good question. Step 1, step 2, step 4, profit. Yeah, you're going to have a hell of a step 4. So do women ruin everything? 2014 gamer energy, crazy cat lady vibe. Yeah, those crazy cat ladies and soy boys. Yeah, they absolutely ruin everything. Here's the thing. Yes, she's crazy, but somebody hired her. They knew what they were getting into. This stuff doesn't happen by accident. She dyed her hair blonde, but she still has these black holes, these voids in space in her eyes. It's just this horrific abyss. We're going to need a bigger boat. And I was listening to Nurkic the other night, and he said a lot of this is like, it looks like they have this 1990s spiked hair MTV energy where they're, I don't know, that seemed to be like a lot of vibe of the 90s, was just this kind of like spiked hair pseudo tough energy. Anyway, so why do cat ladies ruin everything? Well, because they're cat ladies, obviously. That's not the issue. Is why are these things that you enjoy subverted by these parasites? And why do these people hire these parasites in the first place? Unless, they're also parasites. So from video games to car racing to movies to comics, like, what do you need? You need some fat neckbeard to be the mouthpiece. And then you're going to need some young ladies to be eye candy. And, to be fair, I'm sure they're going to get a lot of subs just because people are going to troll the chat room for a little while. But then eventually it'll probably die down because nobody wants to be lectured to. And nobody wants to be lectured to by a cat lady. Like, that's just or a soy boy. Those are the bottom tier of being lectured to. Now, dude, I don't want to insult fat neckbeards or cat ladies or, cat ladies, yes, they're open to be insulted or eye candies or, maybe I do. It doesn't matter. Everyone kind of has their role to play. Men are not women. Stop treating them the same. That's the problem. Cat ladies and soy boys have different values than normal people. Hello, my fellow soy people. Soy people follow whatever fad is the soup of the day. It doesn't matter. They don't believe in it. They just jump on board, and when it's tired, they jump on to a new one. They don't believe in anything. It's like Bolshevism is their new religion. First of all, feminism, cat lady style energy is 2014 energy. Feminist frequency, Anita, I need $30,000 to set up a Discord type of grift. Ranting about feminism, that sort of stopped when Trump got into office. Everyone just kind of decided it was stupid, and we've moved beyond this angry whine aunt kvetching about nonsense. And this isn't 2015. Back then, I think these feminist type of channels got individual donations, but they also got corporate donors, and it feels like the winds have shifted away from that to a couple of years ago. I think it was Anita was begging online some video game companies. She was openly asking them to hire her to, I don't know, look at her games for sexism or something. And it's like the energy had shifted where they just didn't, because they didn't need to anymore. It's like you're not going to pay somebody a consulting fee to do nothing, to do nothing, absolutely nothing but hurt sales of games. And so she had to openly ask them to do it. I think she was hoping that people in her Twitter comment section, this was back when I was on Twitter, would be like supporting her, and people would just roast her instead. It's like, yeah, once the energy shifts and you realize, like, okay, you don't need, I mean, because these feminist consultants, they're just, I mean, it's just blackmail, right? And maybe 2014, 2015, the corporate entities thought there was a little bit of energy behind it. So they paid off some little consulting fees to support this type of stuff. And it's like, okay, it's just like you're paying the grift to get them to stop talking about your product. But once it shifts and once the energy is taken out of these channels and it's gone, I was like, that all the feminists, the SJW channels are almost completely gone. It's like, well, now you're going to have to look for something else. So this chick is coming back, and this whole show is coming back. look at the guy's face. To be fair, both the guys are like, oh, man, I knew, like, here's the thing. This stuff's not spontaneous. Like, she told these people beforehand she was going to have, like, a 4-minute spiel, so they didn't step on her lines. Like, this stuff is, everything is scripted out. Very, very little is going to be spontaneous. But the look on their face is like, oh, I didn't know she was going to go all this. I didn't know she's going to go this far. And, like, actually talk about the people who are in our audience right now, self-enjoying themselves to some of the prior hosts. Why would you insult your audience? I don't think I know I have never insulted my audience. I have never got in the comments and argue with anyone over anything. It's never happened. I've never done it because I'm an adult, and people are different. Like you can have difference of opinion. It's called diversity of thought. It's like, it just doesn't take that much to not argue with people. And, like a small channel would be where you would argue with people. And I've never done it. I've just never gotten in the comments and argue with people. It's like, oh, people make comments. They're like, oh, thanks for chiming in. I'll look into it. Maybe you set me straight, or maybe you didn't set me straight. But to argue with somebody is like, it's there. It's like social media it's not just a monologue. It's a dialogue. It's not for you to just delete all these comments you disagree with, unless it's, something that's going to destroy the algorithm or threats of violence. Yeah, those have to be deleted, but, or, just insane stuff. But like just disagreeing with takes, it's just like, you don't have to argue over little things. Like she's talking about the prior hosts were like bikini model types, Olivia Munn, and I forget the other chick, just girls who look good in bikinis. Like, this isn't this chick. She's and she says she has her own fashion. It's called Frosk Fashion. It's like, it's not even your name. This is all fake. And I mean, it's not your hair. It's not your name. It's not your fashion. It's like, this is all just like, who are you? As it turns out, she's actually got some mental health issues that she talked about in an interview. It's not just me trying to be hyperbolic or dunk on her. Yeah, it's borderline personality disorders, what she says she has. It's like, yeah, that's kind of obvious. You don't need to, didn't need to tell us that, but it's nice that you did. I'm sure that'll, there's a saying, attractive people attract people. You're trying to bring people into your audience. Anyway, all those grifting channels from like 2015 YouTube all shut down because what happened was YouTube shut down the anti-SJW channels because they thought, I guess, that it would help the SJW channels. It didn't. Anti-SJW channels brought traction to SJW channels like Feminist Frequency, and there was a bunch of others. I don't even remember what happened to them, but they're still there, but they don't have the traction that they used to have. YouTube thought they helped them, and they have these unintended consequences. YouTube's doing a lot of weird things, which is great because hopefully it'll move enough people to Odysee. Odysee is slowly picking up steam. Like pretty much everyone is cloned on Odysee now. The next step is for channels like the big channels that I'm still aware of would be like Yellow Flash's channel. He's got probably the biggest live stream. If he can live stream on Odysee, dual live stream on Odysee, that would be freaking fantastic just to get more people moving over there. And, if you said like, oh, YouTube's never going away. Yeah, YouTube's never going away. But for a lot of channels, even stuff as milquetoast as like comics, movies, and video games, a lot of those channels are gone now because they violate. All you have to do is violate the terms of service. It's like once you're kicked off, you can never come back. You're completely blacklisted. So it's like, what are those people to do? Well, they go to Odysee, which is, I hope is the future. Anyway, all this stuff is like old 2015 YouTube energy. The patience for feminist rants. That's pretty much people are done with that. Like we're done with a lot of stuff. We've had the 2020, 2021 BLM riots. Like people's patience is kind of just about worn thin. I mean, this guy, like the look on this guy's face is kind of what everyone is feeling. You're talking about your audience who's self-pleasuring themselves to the old hosts. Nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody wants to be lectured to by somebody who is in an industry that is 98% men, and probably 80% Eurasian men, and you hate men and you hate European people. You hate the beautiful people of the light, as one of her older tweets said. She was complaining about too many Europeans in Europe. It's like, God, gee, quick, open the borders. Anyway, before I go down that vein, click the links, subscribe, and I will see you guys all next episode.